Okay, what is your name?
My name is Jordan Schultz.
My name is Laura Spieler.
My name is Ava Carlson.
I don't think I have a celebrity look-alike now.
No.
I wish.
How do you feel when you see masculine women in film or media?
How do I feel when I see masked women in media?
When I see masculine women in film or media, I feel like really represented because I don't present as feminine as like I've seen growing up in like movies and stuff. So it's nice to see other women who don't present in a super feminine way and represent that diversity.
I go, yay! I feel like it's taken a lot to get to even representation of women in film. So it feels really special and unique to see gender non-conforming women, on the screen.
I feel represented. It's good to see because we don't see a lot of it. And as a kid, I never saw it, so I always felt like I was confined to a feminine identity. My earliest memories of seeing a butch or masked lesbian in media.
I would say probably. Wait, okay, I'm thinking.
Shoot, that's a good question. I need to cook on that one.
Let me pull up Letterboxd real quick. I'm trying to think. Theodore Duvall's character, but I'm a cheerleader, definitely probably the first more masked woman I saw in a movie.
Me too.
Yeah, love her.
Love her.
Wait, I'm trying to think. Have I ever? I was watching The Haunting of Bly Manor. And yeah. What's her name? Is it?
I don't remember, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
She's a little florist and I don't know. I think that was it. I'm not sure though.
I honestly can't remember, but I think it was rather recent. Oh, maybe Orange is the New Black.
Gotcha.
When I see the masks or butches that are supposed to represent me in film, I feel like often, from what I've seen now, they're very they're almost presented as men most of the time, stereotypically emotionless and kind of cold. Not that men are that way.
It makes me feel good, but at the same time, there's a lot of stereotypical representations of masks and butches, and there's just a plethora, and we tend to see one kind of defining identity within film, and sometimes that doesn't feel as good.
Again, I feel like there's the whole issue of when there's not a lot of representation of something, it's hard for there to be a lot of stereotypes, but it's true that there definitely can be a lot of associations with maybe aggression or different things like that, right? I feel like there can be, or there's definitely a lot of stereotypes around butches, right? Or I feel like there's like the man-hating lesbian, the mean lesbian, that's definitely kind of a thing, even though it's not necessarily completely associated with masculinity.
I feel like there's such a lack of representation of gay people in media in general that I'm just oh, they present masks too. But in a sense of that I'm actually represented, myself rather than my presentation, sometimes I feel like it gets a little lost in the message, and that we're hanging on to the way someone's presenting and not who they actually are.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the time it's toxic masculinity in terms of we feel like we have to specifically be masculine and not have certain feminine parts to ourselves. So we have to be strong, we have to look a certain part, we have to dress a certain way every single day. And when we don't, we get ridiculed.
Do you feel represented personality-wise?
I don't know. I think hard to say. Yeah, I don't know.
That's okay too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's almost in film, it's this all or nothing most of the time, where you're very she comes in on a motorcycle and has slick back hair and a leather jacket, disregard the one I'm wearing right now, but it's very it's almost like you are mask or femme, and there's no intersectionality between you can be mask and femme, or you can be mask one day, femme the other day. I feel like it's very spearheaded and almost heteronormative in that sense.
I feel really do confine themselves to one identity in terms of they have to speak in a low voice, they have to act a certain way, like always be masculine, always be like the protector or whatever if they're in a relationship or something. And I feel like I've kind of let that idea go and kind of just let myself live without confining myself to something like that.
So do you feel represented by the masked women in film?
But I don't know. I'll say definitely for me, it was a journey to. I accepted myself as gay pretty early on, but it took me a while to come around to like accepting myself as not looking as feminine as other people, right?
Do you think that would have been more helpful if you had more representation?
Yeah, definitely. I think I definitely would have had an easier time coming around to that, seeing, you know, more people like me in media, right?
So do you feel represented when you see masculine women in media?
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I've seen very good representation of like at least how I present.
I wouldn't necessarily say, yeah, I feel represented by masked women in film. I think there needs to be more representation of like the plethora of identities because we kind of see one common just toxic mask.
Again, every person is like a unique individual, right? I wouldn't say that I've seen like exactly at Ava on screen, but I wouldn't say that I've seen like exactly like Elaine on screen or anyone, right? But I think it is a big deal even whenever I see a character who's like completely maybe opposite to me in personality, anything like that, seeing someone similar in style and expression, it's still a big deal to I don't know, just to feel more like there's more of us out there, I suppose, right?
It's not, it's just like so different from, because we're all still like girls and we like constantly like talk about that and experience that together. And so it's just, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it is very different from the like the tomboy or like the girl that only hangs with guys, like but I feel like we're all like kind of interlinked and we celebrate our femininity every chance we get.
So I think there needs to be a little bit more representation across the board.
I don't watch Arcane, right? But it's been a big thing with that new season coming out, or just the characters, right? To have this butch character in a big role, and that's like on the front page of Netflix all the time, and that makes me happy when I see it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, you can be butch and be a main character in like a Netflix show, and I think that's, you know, that's cool.